let's say we have an OSPF neighborship problem and it's related in some way to the network command. There are a number of issues that can be wrong with the network command. One of them is we have mismatched area IDs. If we have two devices on a common segment, on a common broadcast domain, OSPF expects those to be on the same area. OSPF picks an area for that link, right? And you can verify that with a number of commands, show IP OSPF, show IP protocols, and the way that we can resolve that is to just, change out the area ID of the network command, and a good way to do that is just copy and paste. Copy it, do a no, and then reissue the proper command, placing that interface in the proper area. We also may just be lacking a network command, or the wildcard mask could be wrong. So there are a lot of different reasons why the network command can be messed up. And let's find ourselves in that situation. I'll do a show IP OSPF, and this is a command that gives us a lot of information. One thing that I'd like to see is that this router understands what interfaces go where. Now I'm on DSW1, and it says no interfaces in area 0. Great. Then it says number of interfaces in area 1. Okay. And number of interfaces in area 3. Let's do a look at show IP protocols to the commands that we have there. Now wait a minute, I've got an interesting challenge on my hands. That interesting challenge is I don't see my interfaces in the area that I would expect, and you can compare that against the topology. I expect GI1010 to be in area 1. Let's do a show IP OSPF interface, and let's look at what area this router thinks this interface is in, and it sees it as area 2. So that came about with the network command. Let's look at the network command. Let's do a show run section OSPF, and we can see, wait a minute, that interface, which has this IP address, is being plugged into area 2. So I'm going to copy that, Control C, router OSPF. I'm going to do a no, then paste, and let's see if we reform our neighborship. I'll do a show IP OSPF neighbor. Yep, that looks good. Give it a moment to fix itself. I think we're doing well here. Good. I do have a virtual link going on, so that's accounting for an extra neighborship between DSW1 and R3. And I can see my neighborship. Things are looking good. And if I look at my routing table, I'll do a show IP route OSPF, spelled correctly. Give it a moment. I can see, yep, things are looking good. I have end-to-end connectivity restored. Now, I also want to talk about the network command, and let's just make sure we're really good with interpretation of the network command. Section OSPF. And we have to be able to read these, right? One of the challenges is the wildcard mask needs to tie back to the IP address that is specified, and the wildcard mask is a numeric operator that gives us a range. So add your wildcard mask to the IP address, and you get the entire range from start to finish. The start is the IP address that's specified. The finish is the sum of the IP address and the wildcard mask. So if we were looking here, this enables the OSPF protocol for 10.1.164 through 10.1.1.127. Just add 63 to 64. That's 127. That's the end of the range. Now there's another place that we can go to specify the interface and the area for the interface. So let's not miss that one. We can go in and we can do an IP OSPF, and we can specify that it interfaces directly in an area. So this is merely a confirmation of the exact same thing. Interface GI 1010, which has this IP address, is placed in area 1. And then I have the explicit command that does exactly the same thing. So you do have to look at the interfaces also to find the root of the place where that interface was assigned to an area. So if you're like, wait a minute, I'm not seeing network commands, or the network commands aren't giving us the entire picture or any of the picture. Look at the interface level, and you can also see that with show IP OSPF interface, the running config, and it'll show up right there. And so therefore we don't get into the complexities of wildcard masking.